Hey guys, what's going on? I got a finished build. The Bearcat 1914 Stutz is done. Little history on these cars. Pretty cool. Few cars in the history of the American automobile are as well remembered as the famous Stutz Bearcat, one of the earlier sporty cars to be produced in the United States. The Bearcat of the mid 1910s and the 1920s became the car for the sporting car set because of its open body, no frill design, and a highly successful racing career. The Bearcat was the best known model to be designed by the Indianapolis, Indiana based firm founded by Harry Stutz. Stutz himself designed the first Stutz automobile and guided it down the assembly line. This first car was not sold but taken to the first Indianapolis 500 in May of 1911. The car competed in the race, coming in 11th. The goal of Harry Stutz to be remembered as the maker of the best, as well as the corporate goal to build the best and fastest motor car in America, was proven from that point forward on the tracks across the country. That first Stutz gave rise to the slogan, the car that made good in a day. The construction of the Stutz automobiles created the name Sturdy Stutz. Besides support of famous drivers like Barney Oldfield, Gil Anderson, and Earl Cooper, who barnstormed the country under the Stutz banner, Harry Stutz maintained his high standards of quality constructions. Endurance runs also added to the prestige of the Stutz name. The most famous of these was the cross-country record of 11 days, 7 hours, and 15 minutes set in 1915 by, you gotta love this name, Cannonball Baker. What makes this particular run interesting was the fact that the car was a stock Bearcat with the engine from a car whose owner returned it to the dealer. He had claimed that the engine was no good. Well, I guess he proved that wrong, huh? The Bearcat was the product of the sturdy Stutz era. It was a big, brutish machine, very rugged, and squared off in style. Designed to meet the requirements of the customers desiring a car built along the general lines of a racing car and with a slightly higher gear ratio for better acceleration than our regular torpedo roadster. The Stutz literature of that time compared the purchase of the Stutz to buying real estate or a house. Designed to higher reliability standards than the cars of today, the Bearcat was actually a crude and unsophisticated piece of equipment. Built with either a 4 or 6-cylinder engine, the Bearcat was built on basically the same chassis as the heavier Stutz cars and had a 126-inch wheelbase. Its $2,000 price tag included such extras as a 75 mile per hour speedometer, Hartford Racing type shock absorbers, and a Boyce motor meter. Bearcats were finished in 4 standard colors: vermilion, yellow, monitor gray, or Mercedes red with black and nickel trim. The upholstery was done in black only. Oh well, looks like somebody redid mine. The name Bearcat was used again for its Stutz car in the 20s, which was probably as famous as the earlier model. The Roaring Twenties Bearcat became synonymous with bathtub gin and raccoon coats. The fantastic record of Harry Stutz and the Stutz Motor Company has provided one of the most controversial pages of American automobile and one of the most treasures for the collector of antique cars. So, without further ado, let's go take a look at the 1914 Stutz. Hang on, boys. Hang on. Oh, God. Ow. There we go. I think she looks pretty good. Had a lot of fun with this. All right, you ready? There she is, boys. This is the 1914 Stutz Bearcat. Yes, a lot of fun building this, man. We got the round windshield in. We got that all built yesterday, last night. Got it all fixed up. Here's our interior with our wood, all our wood grain. All our pins on our seats. We got some wood grain back here that the tank's sitting on. But all in all, I am pretty happy with how she looks. brass era. My favorite era of cars. And especially when you stand next to these things and you see how big they are. I would love nothing better than to be able to jump in one and take a ride. Yeah, so actually the windshield, I made the frame. I took a piece of wire and wrapped it around a socket. Twisted it with a pair of pliers and then snipped off the end and took a piece of styrene tube and shoved a wire into that with some super glue. And then I did not trace the inside of the wire. I actually put the wire on my circle gauge. I almost said O gauge. And we found the appropriate size. I had a piece of styrene in my stash, clear styrene. It was an old, I don't know, it was an old windshield or something that I had. We took some measurements. I actually, before I did that, I taped it. I taped it up good, both sides. I drew my circle on it. Took my razor saw out. And got as close as I could to it all the way around. That was fun. That probably took me a half hour. Cutting all this. But then we just put it on a piece of sandpaper. And I got it round. And then I just kept going at it until I got it to fit inside that. So that's how that was done. Of course, all our wood grain. Our non-skid 3M stuff. But I'm very pleased with how she looks. Very pleased with how this came out. We even got our wooden knobs. Little wooden knobs there on the handle. But I really like how the pins come out. I think the buttons look great. So let me know what you think, fellas. 1914 Stutz Bearcat. So, as opposed to the other one that I built that they say was 19. I'll show you when we go out. They said it was I think it was either a Lindbergh or a Monogram model. Old. From the 70s. And they said it was a 1914. They said it was the same year as this. So I started to look up 1914s and I'm like, well, there's no fenders on it. The more research I did, I figured out that it was the original 1911 Stutz Bearcat, the racer, that went to Indianapolis. So, this year's, let me know what you think, boys. The blue and the gray. So, yeah. I think she was pretty cool. I think we can look underneath without breaking it in. Hang on. Not a lot under there. Not a whole lot under there, guys. Curbside kit, no motor. No motor, that's all glued in place, so. But yeah, I'm very happy with how she looks. Let me know what you think, guys. Shot and Beer Wednesday coming up in a few minutes, so. Let me know what you think. I really think that the interior really pops on this. I don't like to brag, but I think she looks pretty good. All right, boys. Let me know what you think. Peace out.